What's up, peeps? I know, been a couple days, alright? Been a little busy. Getting married in like, I don't know, 4 days or something like that. Got some things going on in the life. Anywho's, we got Bart for this this dang old RTU that just been, you fix one thing and then there's the other thing and then there's the other thing. We eventually do get it running, but I want to put all this in one big long deal because it's be like a kabillion hours. So here you go for the second of 3. I gave away a little hint there, okay? We don't even get it all the way done now. All right, but we did find something else. All right, so you got all kinds of stuff to learn here. Anywho's, enjoy this one and hold out for the next one. I might have to wait till after the old honeymoon or something to put that one up. Maybe I'll get it in there before then. Well, I'm gonna try. Anyway, enjoy. Got all this thing buttoned up, got down in the truck, typed up my thing on what's going on, sent it up to the people that make more money than I do that sit behind a desk, and before I could leave the parking lot they said, approved! Do the thing! Make the cold happen! So, notice I had to take off the hoodie because all this stuff had to come up a 30-foot ladder, and that wasn't horrible, you know. A little compressor there. She ate a big dinner. We're just gonna say that, because she wasn't light. Just now I got the feeling back in my fingers. Anyhow, this thing's emptied out, got it recovered up, and we're gonna do the things. We're gonna do the things to the stuff. Dryer in these carriers is so far back, you can't reach her from here. You gotta take the fan off and put your legs in the air and your head on the ground to be able to replace that dryer. So we're gonna do what we gotta do. It is what it is. So let's get to unsweating, I guess. I don't know. What else is there to do? Huh? I'm gonna replace the thing, do the stuff. Let's make it happen. We're gonna determine whether it needs to be blown out based on how much oil comes out of this suction line and the discharge line whenever I pull them out. One thing that I think is extremely important is that you always either pull your Schrader, at least one of them, or put your hose on there. These Schraders don't come out, thanks to Carrier. Thank you, Carrier, you're awesome. So I'm gonna put my low side hose on the suction side and let her open up while I'm soldering, because it's gonna build pressure. And you add heat, you add pressure, and it's gonna let that pressure come out as I'm soldering. So before we even get started, I'm gonna go ahead and pull these bolts off, take off the crankcase heater, and that way whenever I get it pulled loose, first of all, we'll be able to move the compressor back to pull the suction line, but this isn't very thick. I'll excuse me, probably be able to yank it. And then we're gonna do the dryer while the compressor's out. Go down bottoms up in this thing. And I'm not gonna leave y'all, this will be a lot of clips, okay? There's a lot of little crap that's gonna happen in the middle. You know, I say that a lot, and then I end up filming the whole freaking thing. But, take that like that. I don't have to go bottoms up. Look, I can reach it right here. Some spiders going on in here. We'll burn those right off. Yep. Ain't my house, it's their house. I'm just gonna arson their house, that's all. Hey, we gotta do what we gotta do, right? To make things happen. Check the broken old D-wall here, see if I got the right bit. Looks like might be 1/2 inch. and I'm right. 'Tis 1/2 inch. And pop these off. Oh, that didn't, I wasn't thinking. Now, I know it's cool outside, but high today is supposed to be like, I don't know, 65, 70 degrees, somewhere in there. And, man, that washer is just on there. I might have to get that off later. And we got the one that I'm gonna have to do blind. Yep, yep. Get on the thing. And push the button. I got it. All right. Yep. None of those washers came off. Came with a new foot set. I don't know if there's washers in the foot set, but we shall see. Crankcase heater is gonna be a 5/16. Sometimes I cut them. Sometimes I don't. I don't know if I'm gonna cut this one. Oh, I said 5/16, not 1/4 inch. Get your brain right there, boy. That thing is serious rusted. That is not gonna be fun to put back in. Okay, so we'll pull that all the way off after the lines are disconnected, which we can do right now. Replacing the compressor is really easy. It's not replacing it, it's getting the stuff where you need to get the stuff. Because I'm telling you, getting this thing on the roof, goodness. I didn't film because I didn't want y'all to see me heaving and hoeing, and I don't know, probably even farted somewhere some point in time. Like it's just, you know, there's got to be a better way. As soon as I invent that better way, well, probably see different videos from me because I won't be working here anymore. Got the hiccups. There, maybe that'll stop him. Nope, didn't stop him. Can I video while I have the hiccups? We might have to put a pause on this thing. Channy locks. And once this is out, we'll see what kind of oil comes out of it. Am I even filming? Yes, I am. Okay. All right. Yeah, we'll see if any oil drips out of it. You'll be able to tell because, you know, oil is flammable. So she's gonna flame right on up on you. I hate this striker. Woo! That was a good pop. Got a little too much of something going on. That's all right. It's pretty hot, but I'm all right with that. I would highly advise you to not do it pretty hot if you don't know what you're doing. If you're green, don't do it this hot. Who knows, I might take this puppy to the house and cut her right on open for you. It's not under warranty. Who knows, people? One thing I do know is there's some non-flammable stuff on the bottom of that is going to have to be sanded off before I can solder on the new one. Let's see how well this works. If this thing doesn't come out because it's too stout, I'll push the compressor back. But we'll keep it hot the whole time. I did get a non-OEM compressor.
There we go. No oil came out of that. I'm not worried about oil log. Don't think I'm gonna be messing around with any nitrogen on this. I might put a puff in it just to see if anything comes out. A lot of these things with 410, you'll get these things oil logged and they just don't work right. Okay, oil gets all up in the feeder tubes and clogs crap up, and you're just like, oh, I got a restriction. And then whenever, just so you know, when you think you have a restriction, put the thing on the, like, don't just go replacing expansion valves and be like, oh, it's fixed, because I can tell you, based on experience, you're gonna have another issue with it, and you're gonna be like, what happened? I already replaced the expansion valve. And then the owners or the people that are paying, you're gonna be like, well, I thought you said you fixed it. Now it's the same thing. Now what's going on? Why? And then you got to answer all these questions, and you look like an idiot. And I'm telling you, don't be an idiot, okay? Don't be an idiot. Let's try that. That's my whole goal in life, is to do what I can, keep people from being idiots, okay? Now, I am gonna bend this out. Hey, you know what? It bends back, okay? You know what? Leave it out. It doesn't matter at this point, all right? So, it's okay. It's not gonna, fall off in mid-operation. I typically like to cut these, but there's a lot of solder on that. Whoever at the warehouse did that, they went to town on it. It must have been a Friday, and they wanted to make sure they got done without having to worry about a leak check. Oh, now that's a wiener. That's a wiener flame. So this one, I'm not gonna cut it. And I'm doing the dryer now because I need to let those pipes cool off where the compressor was. There's a little bit of oil coming out of there. We'll put a puff on it. Let's see what it says. It's a little 3/8, so you don't really have to go all the way around it. They heat up really quickly. Lid right off. Hey, don't put this on something that burns or melts. Like, don't put it on the roof. This is a rubber membrane roof. If you put your recently unsoldered dryer on a rubber roof, they're going to be calling because they're going to have leaks the next time they have rain. Okay? Let's try that. Let's do that. All right. Here we got our CO83S dryer, good for up to 5 tons. Got our fuses. I told you it was going to get 4. Well, you know what? I got 3. Life goes on. Everyone's going to be okay. And I got my contactor, 2-pole, 30 amp 40 res, 24 volt coil. This does come with a new harness. That's because it's not OEM. That harness is not going to reach. We're going to have to use the existing harness, which should be just fine. We did get new feet, but we don't have new washers, so once this compressor comes out, I'm going to have to pry those things off. We're going to need to use those washers. I'll put this right there so we can make sure it flies away with the wind. It's one less thing I got to worry about taking off the roof. There's a big old cancer maker over there. All right, let's see if this is cool enough for me to touch. I would say we are good to go. Now, once again, thank you, Carrier, for not making this easy. Okay, they put all the pipes in the way, and this is the way the compressor's got to come out. Well, we got to get this crankcase heater off first. We're just going to slide it right over the top. Like so. And then don't forget to put your then crankcase heater on the new one before you solder it in. Because then that's when you end up cutting cutting the dang wire. Because that's just... Oh. And... there she goes. She's basically glued to the freaking unit. It's free now though. We're good. Don't panic. We're good. Oh, all right. I can already see one problem we're gonna have, but it's a good thing I saw it now. Oops. Out with the old. And like I said, while that's out, I can actually reach in here and do some soldering. I want to hit that bottom joint on the dryer with it out here. So I can see it. Going from the top, you can't see it. Here's the issue I know we're going to have, and I can fix this now. Now while I'm seeing it. Y'all can see this, which I hope you can. This is dented in a little bit, and I don't know, I didn't pull it off in a funny way, so I don't know exactly how that happened, but I can round that out. Too easy, people. That's too easy. We're gonna round it right back out. I ain't gotta worry about it. All we need is a pair of needle nose pliers. Gotta get the right size needle nose. Your little ones ain't gonna work. Little bitties ain't gonna work. But basically, you stick your needle nose in the whole thing and you move it around. Now, I'm sure they make a tool for this, but this is actually a perfect tool because it's already rounded. All you're doing is making the whole round again, which it actually is already round again, so I don't have to worry about that. We're good. That was easy. It's not even warm. It just happened really easy. All right, our new dryer. Same size, look, see? CO83S dryer. One thing I didn't take note was the direction that this dryer was in. It's a little warm, people. It's a little bit warm, okay? But I can't tell the direction that it was in just by looking at it. So, these things confuse me. Let's see here. We got this line, and this is coming from the condenser. This one, where's this one going from? These confuse me because of how they are, okay? They don't come like straight out of the compressor into the dryer. We got one that comes out of the the condenser coil. And we got one that goes into the evaporator. So I think that's pretty darn obvious. It's gonna go up, arrow up. Because that's just the way it is, okay? And that fit on there beautifully. So let's solder that bottom side now. Then we'll hit the top side in a little bit. So your refrigerant flow is going to come from your condenser and it's going to go into your evaporator. That's how I know this is the right direction. That's on the discharge side. On the suction side, it comes out of the evaporator. Oh, it's about time to get some more seal files. I'm down to the bits, the little bits. Oh, it's lit. I didn't even know it. That's hilarious. All right, let's get her done. Looks like a 4-year-old did it, but you know what? It ain't gonna leak. Dadgummit, get over here. Yep, yep. I know y'all might not be able to see all this, but you're gonna be all right, I promise. Now let's see if I can hook the top on while we're doing the thing. Might actually have to hammer that in a little bit. There it goes. He's in. I'm going back over one more time because it slipped a little bit. I don't need any little tiny crackles. The top one looks factory. The bottom one looks like a 4-year-old did it. That's all right. That's all right. She's gonna hold for life. Well, until this one burns up. All right. Come here, you compressor. Feet. Some people like to put their feet on after they put it in there, but I think you're just not doing it very smart, like, you know, because some of them don't go on very easily, and while it's in there, it's hard to reach behind there and grab the back side of it. Come on, there we go. Well, that one is not being very nice. Come on, do what I say. Don't you break. That's what I thought. Do what I say. All right, I gotta pry these washers off. They're like, they feel like they're glued. This thing can't be that old. Well, what did we say? It's a 2011. No, they're stuck to the dang dowels in there. So I might just use these dowels. What kind of screws do we have that go down in the bottom of that? This might be all we need. Yeah, we don't even need the dang. That's why I felt like they were glued, because they're literally a part of it. Going all new on this thing. You do want to wait until you get it in there to put those in. And okay, pain, ouch, hurt. Yep. Okay. There we go. And if you don't want your feet coming off, don't slide it on the feet. You gotta lift and scoot, lift and scoot, lift and scoot. Beautiful. Beautiful-ish. Put our little chingadera things in there. I have no idea what that means, okay, people? Absolutely no idea. I do know I dropped one, though. The blind one. All right. Back to... kind of need that piece, don't I? Bolt her down. And what did I say? Don't forget? That's right. Do not forget your crankcase heater. You're gonna be mad at yourself. I don't think that's the right one. Could be wrong. Don't think that one's gonna do a whole lot of good. Now for the one that I can't see. Here we go. Can't see. Can't see. You're in the way. Where's the thing? Ah. Where are you? All right. Now, pull out our thingamajiggers. Oh, should have pressure on it when you pull these out. Should not blow oil at you. If it does, you might want to worry. Now, just a little bit. So I want to overbend this because I want it to be pushing in. About like that. Same thing with this one. Oh, I already said we needed to sand something. I'm glad that I remembered. One of y'all just yelled it out, didn't you? Don't forget to sand the thing. Nope, nope. You all forgot just like I did. Admit it. I don't even remember which side it was on. But if you don't sand it, people, you're not going to be, your solder is not going to stick. All right, it's just going to roll off, burn everything on the ground. It just ain't going to stick. You got to get the crap off. And I think it was on the suction line. That's good stuff. Be much better to do with a wire wheel. Oh, your boy ain't carrying the wire wheel. Okay. See how my bend went away? I think it was actually the discharge. I think I actually just cut myself. Super. Super. Cut myself, busted my knuckles, getting all the crap to the roof. Been absolutely wonderful. That one lost its bend also. There. Let's heat her up, get her on. And we can start pulling a vacuum while I do all the rest of the stuff. I'm gonna do discharge, or I'm gonna do suction first. Where did my solder go? Now remember, this was not the right size. Ah! What was that? Oh well. All right, we're having some problems. Can't go in. There we go. All right, we're in. Y'all are gonna see me do something that I've only done a couple times, okay? But you gotta do it when you gotta do it. I need 3 hands. I don't have 3 hands. I'm not a weirdo, okay? I got 2 hands. I'm gonna solder this by holding the solder in my mouth. If you just use your solder when you do this, put the correct end in your mouth. This is already cooled off, you will burn your tongue. When I hold it in my mouth, I'm gonna hold this in place with this. I'm gonna solder it on right there. Okay, once you get it done like that, it's gonna stick. You can get any pieces that you missed without worrying about it falling out. Like I totally missed that backside. New piece. Right now I'm doing what I call a layover. I don't like the way that the solder is not attaching. So I lay the solder over the top. It has already gone into the middle. I'm not worried about the middle, which is the biggest part, and the part you should be worried about. I'm more worried about the top, the outside not connecting. We're good now. Now for this guy. Made. Dunsky. Soon as my service ports cool off, start pulling the vacuum, put the thing on the deal here, and then in the meantime, what can I do right now? Let's change out that contactor. So I gave you a good depiction and picture of what this thing looked like beforehand. Oh, I need to take the deal off. This time I'm gonna mark it because I didn't do that last time, and I had to guess. Y'all didn't see me putting it back together. All right. Just curious, how many of y'all carry Sharpies in your pockets? I would hope everybody, but I'm curious. You can put it down in the comments. Sharpie in the pocket, it's important. Always need Sharpies. Hit, hit. And remember, we're gonna be tightening this belt on this blower. Gotta remember this too. And then we got some fuses to replace, vacuum to pull, which I'm obviously not going to be on the deal for the vacuum. Okay. Now you change contactors the way you want to change contactors. I'm going to show you the way I change contactors. First off, make sure the disconnect's turned off. All right. Otherwise, you're going to wake up dead. We don't want none of that. Ain't nobody need to be waking up dead. We all got families to go home to. All right, so turn the power off, okay? Messing with high voltage here. This is 480 volt. I don't want 480 volts coursing through my heart. Okay? Not today. We'll try that tomorrow, not today. Now, if you can pull it far enough away to have everything still attached, that is my ideal. This thing is just right in the way. Get out of there. Why would someone put you right in the way? All right. And it looks like I can pull it far enough away, or it's going to be close. It's going to be close. Get our new one out here. It's good practice to replace a contactor anytime you lose a compressor anyway. Contactor's been, she'd been hurting, okay? Had all the things against her, okay? Good idea just to pop a new one in there. So I like to do it wire for wire. That's why I try to do it like that, but obviously that's not going to happen today. So we're going to go ahead and go wire for wire, but like this. Make sure your new wires go on nice and snug as a bug in a rug. I'm probably digging myself into a hole right here. Well, sometimes this works. Oh no, my zip tie broke. Well, that stinks. It's the only thing holding this thing together. Okay, that's not gonna work. See if this has enough beef. Nope. Flathead. Goodness gracious. Really? I have a 5/16 nut driver that I'm gonna hope works. If not, we'll go to plan L. I'm not willing to look for it any further. So, oh, this will work as a 5/16. And it won't fit. It just won't fit. Oh, it fit. There we go. Once I get this out, y'all can see it in the sun. That whole side broke off of it. That's a good thing we don't need her anymore. Okay. Hopefully I remember to fast forward through all that. Now, let's look at here. If you can see, now that we have light, right inside, above the poles and below the poles, it's all black. And I don't think that it came from the manufacturer like that. That doesn't mean it's bad, it doesn't mean it ain't working. It does mean, however, that I just noticed that I have 11% of battery left, so I'm gonna make a trip. Actually, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start my vacuum pump, make a trip, get me a new battery stuck in this thing, and then when we're ready for charge, I'll be right back and put the thing back on. We're at a good stopping point, so I'll be back very shortly. We're down to about 700 microns. I'm gonna take it down a couple hundred more, which is gonna take some time. Figure we'll go ahead and replace this fuse and then add these spares in there while we're at it. So just find somewhere for them to sit where you're going to be able to close the door and they're not going to be arcing on anything, and it's usually pretty easy to do. There's one, and this one can probably sit right there. There's our two. When you pull fuses out, remember this thing is live on one side, so use your channies. They have a tool that's just for this. Your boy don't have that tool, so yeah, I won't be using that. I'll be using some channel locks. Just grab her, pull it right on out. I know it's the center one. I even marked it when I did it. There we go. Put your new one in with the channel locks, okay? Try to make sure that the thing is facing out so you can be nice to the next people instead of being all mean. Yeah. She's in. Got her spurs in there. We can go ahead and shut this until it's ready to turn on. We can go ahead and shut this. It's really easy to shut. You just gotta you know, shut it. Don't put these, all right, back in the unit. They're bad. Put your bad ones where they belong. That is in the trash. That's a pretty good throw. It's gonna end up right at the rope. Golf! Hole in one! Anyway, I'll get that on my way out. So, we're still here at 700 microns. We're doing some bouncing around, okay? That just means it's pulling some oil. Guess I should make sure that our harness plugs in. Oh, what am I stuck on? Oh. Y'all probably already called me out on this. I told you. I do this all the flipping time, man. So, I'm already all the way into this vacuum. I ain't gonna undo it. Alright, time to get a wire nut. Time to cut the crankcase heater wire. I'll wire nut it back together because I'm an idiot and I did exactly what I said not to do. Leave it to me. Leave it to me to do the things that I tell you to not to do. Okay? I feel like Mater right now. Did you tell me to not to do it? Well, I did it anyway, okay? What an idiot. I mean, you always cut one side, wire nut it back together, but that's not ideal. Ideally, you don't want to do that. You want to just put it on the right way. I'm over here flapping my jaw, not even paying attention. Don't be an idiot, people. Don't be an idiot. Well, now it goes around nice and smooth though, except it's backwards. which backwards is usually okay, except my wires ain't gonna reach. I'm gonna wire nut. What an idiot. Well, at least I can admit it. Alright, I know when I do dumb things. That was dumb. Get all their tape off of this compressor harness. There's nothing wrong with the compressor harness. Well, at least I don't think there is. Once I take this tape off, we'll see if it's charred inside there. It is not. It looks beautiful. It should slap right on there. Just like that. The problem is that they have the wires, and those are tight. Crankcase heater is barely going to be able to reach the bottom. They didn't leave much slack, okay? I still put it on backwards. Why am I being such an idiot? My brain is not computing forward and backward. The problem is I don't have enough wire length to even... Normally it doesn't matter, there's not a backwards. But when you don't have the wire length, there's a backwards. Okay? I don't have the wire length. So backwards exists. So I want that on the other side. Like this? Sure, but how? How? Like this? No. Like this? Yes. Like this. That's how we do it. That's the way we do it. Anyway, I'm gonna fiddle around with this thing, get it on there, and I'll let you know once our microns go down to an acceptable level, which is about 500, and we'll get this thing put back on. I'll be back. Well, your boy had to go back down and get some batteries for the old field piece. You know, you might be like, well, that's the problem with battery powered gauges. Nah. You know, lasts like 3 years on one set of batteries. So I always have batteries in the truck. So if you always got them, it's not a problem. It's a non-issue. All right. If you don't carry batteries, well, you just ain't ready for the stuff. All right, so I got it pulled down to 600 microns. I know, I said 600, okay. We're gonna pop this off. That'll go to 29.9. We're gonna let that sit at 29.9 for a couple minutes. Make sure she don't come up. As soon as you pop this hose off, you lose your micron. That's the way the field piece are set up. Okay, I don't know. Always been like that with this one and the last set that I had. And I'm gonna be getting me a new set. Maybe I asked for that for Christmas. I'm not sure. But vacuum pump did its job. We'll put it on over to the side and get ready to put some refrigerant in this puppy. Get the old scale out. It's exactly 11 pounds, which means I'm gonna put in 11 pounds and probably 3 ounces. Because that's just what I do. Okay, that's just what I do. You gotta account for what's in your gauges, what's in your hoses. What's in your hoses is no longer on the scale. So when it comes to 11 pounds, the 2 or 3 ounces ain't gonna matter. Okay, it ain't gonna make or break you. You could probably lose a pound and it's still gonna work just fine. But we're gonna charge it right on. Why am I walking with the things? When I got you on the head, let's go ahead and start this charging. Scale. Refrigerant, been sitting in the sun. Make sure you let your refrigerant sit in the sun. Get that bottle nice and hot. So when you go to charging, she just pours right in. And it's not a hot day today, but the sun makes things hotter. That side of that is pretty hot. So could have been hotter, but it ain't hot outside. So we're holding at 29.9. We're gonna let that ride. If we had any reeks, I would have already seen it. All right, dip, charge as liquid, power on, JB Industries, bleed, de minimis, 11 pounds, people. We're ready for the, let's bring the onions. Bring the onions. Rah. Oh yeah, she's noisy. Double check my data plate, just cause I like to. Make sure it is 11 pounds. 11 pounds. 410A. All right, good thing it wasn't 22. That would have been bad, okay? That would have been bad. Charge it on your high side as a liquid. Just let her go to town. You can fill that whole condenser coil as much as it'll let you. Uh-oh. My gauges ain't liking me. What had happened? There they are. I got me a little skirt. We're at 5 pounds. I hope I had 11 pounds in there. I'm pretty sure I do. It's gonna be pretty empty when I'm done. There's 6 pounds. 5 more. Hoses are dancing. All that liquid just firing right in there. This should be cold. It is cold. It should be cold. It is cold. There's 7 pounds. And just going to town, people. Uh-oh. Are we slowing down? Come on, baby. Not yet. And 8 pounds. 3 more. Fill in the condenser coil right on up. I may go ahead and put a jumper on this while we're waiting on the last 3 pounds. Because I don't want this thing to wait. I want it to go to town right when I hit go. I want it to go. Probably going to be a delay if it has to go through the board, but it won't be anything that has to come from the thermostat, which I know they have Honeywell home thermostats, and those you cannot change the flippin' delay on. They are set in stone. We're going to go to Y, and we're going to go from R to Y, and then from, come on, R to G. All right, as soon as we hit the power, we should hear this thing crank right up. What are we at? 9.5, still going in. We may have to suck that last pound in through the suction line while it's running. I fed one hose through here, then I fed the other one not through here because I'm smart. That's the only reason I did that, is because I'm smart. I don't know how many more idiot things I can do today. I can do a lot of idiot things. Well, tighten up the old blower belt. Belt's just fine. I'm gonna put this on here. Try not to move my hoses too much so it doesn't affect my Wow, that's not gonna work, is it, Matthew? You're just a flat-out idiot. I can do it. No, I can't, because these are crossed. What if I do it like this? Yeah. Don't tell me I can't do it. Don't tell me I can't do it. Throwing off all my weight right now. All right, that's all I needed right there. Look, just like that. That's what I needed. Just for it to not stay on. There we go. We're at 10.6. We're gonna make it, people. I believe we're gonna make it. Put this on so it doesn't affect our pressures. As soon as that blower kicks on, if it kicks on, then it's gonna suck that thing right in there. But if I had my impact, I'd go ahead and bolt this thing down. There it is. Zip tie fell off the impact. All right, she's barely holding together. But taking a 20-foot fall and still working, tell you what, I'm slightly impressed. I just can't go to town on it because there's nothing holding the head on. Where are we at? Oh, 10.94. It looks like that's where it's going to stop. Nope, 9.7, 9.8. There's our 11 pounds. We're going to get every bit of it in there. That is happening, people. And we are there. All right, fire in the hole. Hup. It works. So this thing goes through the startup. What's going on here? It's 410, so we're going to let it eat for a minute. Right now the pressures do not look good, but let's let her ride. Luckily the fans go in the right direction. We are slowly getting to where we need to be. .410 takes a minute to get to the right pressures. Sometimes it starts high, gets back down. Sometimes it starts low and comes back up. It just takes a minute. But I do know it's running. How about that? Almost there. In fact, I might have to add a little bit. Let's see what their temperature is. What's the current temperature? No, I don't have to add anything. That thing's right on point. What am I looking for? I'm looking for that suction line. And on these, you can actually see the U-bends in the evaporator. I'm looking for them to be sweating. Hit me in the face. I'll take a look again here in a minute whenever I The problem is that the ambient is low and the indoor is not cold. I mean, it's not hot. So we got problems whenever it comes to charging these things. We're gonna need to let it run for a minute. And I'll get back with you. Well, boys and girls, you see, the thing ain't running now. Disconnect serve. Yeah, it's off. Yeah. So what had happened was, while I was letting it sit there go to town, I heard an all too familiar sound. I kind of think it sounds a little bit like a cat that's about to get into a fight. And then I knew what was happening, so I did grab my phone to grab a video of it because I needed proof of what was happening so they don't think we're trying to rip them off. This fan motor here just started going, and that's when I hit the button on the phone. And eventually the cat died. Okay, she didn't make it. She went hit the thing over there real quick so we don't pop another fuse. We got another one. It's the problem with these fan motors. I got one in my truck. That's the normal. The normal would be 208 volt single phase, and I got all the capacitors in the world, but this is a 460 volt unit. So don't carry the 460 volt. They're not as common. Can't justify carrying that around all the time, so we're gonna get one and come back tomorrow. So that's where we're at. I guess we're gonna make this part 3. I'm gonna do it all in, am I gonna do it all in one? Nah. You know what, I'm gonna do this one, and then the fan motor we'll do on a separate one. How about that? That way it's not like 700 years long. It's coming right back to me. Anyway, let me get all this crap down. I got a soccer game. Got to get the kid to tonight. And that's where we're at. So I'm gonna go pick that up on the way back to the shop. That's all I got today. Okay, got the compressor done, got the dryer, got the contactor. The thing runs right. Pressure seemed a little bit off, but I think that it has almost everything to do with the fact that this probably was not spinning at full speed to begin with. So we're gonna get a gooder one in there, a gooder one. All right, that'll be on the next video. Maybe I'll do it first. I don't know. I have all the freedom. It's America. Talk to you next time. Deuces.